Alright, so we're also live on YouTube now. Cool. Anyway, let's get to it. Funny enough, it took me about... I probably spent about 30 minutes working on this plug. Let's see. Hi, Jima. Happy 4th. Hey, Omar. Happy 4th. I actually don't like that there. That sounds fine. Let's add a clap in there, actually. What did I want to do after that? That's right, I was working on chords. I'm over here fucking up and shit. Does anyone know a faster way to do this? I feel like this is really slow. Let's make this a little easier on ourselves. Let me see. Side length and another serum should be fine, actually. A few months ago, I ended up making a template that I never used. I don't know why, actually. Bank. Load. That's what I didn't do. actually mute all that so I can actually hear what I'm doing. That'll do for me. Same thing, layer. Layer 2 silence. Okay, I got confused for a second. Tim. Let's see. What did Hey Chris, happy 4th. Tim, happy 4th. Let's see. Stop being so depressed. I hear it in the melodies, bro. What do you mean? That's just the music that I create. Depression. Rip ears. Where am I going? Just to have this here. This here I have to read. Yo Max, happy 4th. Bank load. I really wish it would auto direct to my bank path automatically, but it doesn't. I have everything saved in OneDrive. You can't see it because I have it hidden just to FL, so that way, you know, a weird notification won't pop up and you guys won't see it, and then expose me, like yeah. Silent bank. Noise. Actually, we'll just clear this one. Facts. It's annoying that it doesn't auto direct. I templating always helps. I'm pretty sure you can. Can't you actually load? Yeah, you can load FL with all your synths because that's just how projects save. But I don't. There's something about doing that and not going through the whole process of setting everything up each time that I don't like. It's a whole process for me that I think I enjoy. 5 from the saturation. Two in it. There you go. I'm sick of the melody already. Let's start arranging. Kichi club kick right there. What am I looking for? Mode crash. Oops, oops, oops. I knew I forgot something. More. Sub drop, kick hit, the whole shebang. Where are my crashes? Crash. Crash. There it is. and sweep. Damn it. Do the... No? What's wrong? Let's try this again. Okay. There it is. Reverse this, actually. Something like that. So, let's see, Dario. Oi, mate, just turned in what you got so far. I got nothing. I got this. where's my wow, I really can't remember what I'm looking for. Yo, hold on. I think I'm gonna post this bit. Wait, look how broken Splice is. Give me a second. How do we do the thing? I haven't done the thing. Yes, how do I do the thing? Add source. Screen capture. Desktop. I don't care. Alright. Look at how broken Splice is right now. Like, I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to load like this. Does it work? Yeah, it still works. Alright, so what am I looking for? It's a Cashmere sample. Oh. Alright. I've just broken everything. Alright. Give me a second while I figure this out. I'm looking for... Zed uses it all the time in his tracks, and like a little snare roll that he does. It's in the Cashmere pack, but I don't... Where did I use it in? I used it in something. I used it in something. Where is it? Hold on. I'm just gonna have to open a whole second project now. Let's see. I've been missing the chat the whole time. Shout out to my boy KG. Lovely vibes. Control B. Control B. What is... I think this is it. Let's see. Nathaniel Roberts, do you always use headphones to monitor over speakers? Well, so the main reason why I'm using headphones right now is actually because, well, my microphone is right here. And if I were to play it, you'd hear feedback, and to have a hotkey to mute every time I want to produce and then talk at the same time would be kind of a lot, to be honest. And it's just easier for me to wear headphones. That, and I love the sound of these anyway. I keep them low so I can actually hear, so I can actually hear the crisp high end a little bit more, because there is a noisy environment outside, and I don't want to deal with it. Tambale 8 roll F. Give me a second, I actually need to plug in my laptop. Use it. Ow! That works too. Okay. Alright, so I found the sample I'm looking for. Alright, here we go. To get that. Enter kick. Rip it, I don't care. Sign it. 2, 3, and 2, 4. I'll just try only kick it out. Punch. Tail. Face. Always remember to make it unique, because then you end up like me, looking like a ditz on stream. Please just go disturb level reverb on the intro kick. Oh, Jesus. He said, hold on, wait a minute. Let me do the thing really quick. Something like that. I don't listen to disturb all that much. But you did just give me an idea. Oh, that was the right one. My favorite part, I'm gonna hit that low D sharp. If I can remember what. Oh, there it is. Sorry. I had to do it. Try to go down with the punch on that low D kick. Did that in the track not too long ago. Worked surprisingly. Okay, I'll give that a go. Let me hit this one. Oh, hit it perfectly, I think. Hell yeah. Alright, you said hit lower punch on this one. We'll do one instead. Not really a fan of it. Maybe don't go with the 4. Go 4-4 with that. See that part? I see what you're saying. Hold on. We'll do that over here. Actually, let me delete that for now. I think I actually want to go up on all these. Six. Oh, the last one. Oops. I forgot I pitched the tail a lot. I didn't set these back up to where they're supposed to be. Let me change some things really quick, please. And the only reason why I'm doing this right now is because I really don't like how long my tail is. Oh, it doesn't get the... Why? Oh, because it's filtering it. Where it's gonna be. Edison is always at the top. Rip ears, I'm sorry. It's gonna be loud. Let's see. Maybe don't go 4-4 to make it interesting, energetic with that low punch. Give it some rhythmic variation. Just call it kick rolls. You just motivated to start. We need to start something new. Finally getting that inspiration back. Yo, that I struggle with that every day, actually. So you know, But you know, having a day off is nice sometimes. Turn this down before I blow out more eardrums. Damn it. Hold on, I'm gonna have to redo this. No, I don't. I am gonna have to redo it. Damn it. Whatever, we'll just go with it. Wait, no, now I'm just confused. Okay. Let's see, what is the most amount of channels that you've ever had to use? Had to use. Probably 120? 100? No, not 100. NFL Studio, sorry, let me clarify. NFL Studio, probably 100 and... What does this go up to? 125, all of them. 102 plus... 110 in NFL Studio. In Studio One, I've managed to get up to about 130. Don't ask me why I used that many, because I couldn't tell you. Oh, I could. Layering and all that other jazz. But there's no reason why I should use that many now when you can totally bounce to audio and save yourself some CPU. And as I'm not home more often, like I need to be able to take my stuff with me, so it's just a matter of I need to learn how to bounce the audio. More channels isn't always better. To be honest, it just means that your computer is probably gonna hate you. So that means I can put this back. Messing around with the kick now. Two things. One, silent. Two, that. Three, delete. What was this control B? I didn't know that was a thing. Ben, you really just saved me time. This is awesome. I did. Yo! I'm actually really excited about that. Anyway. This is gonna be fun. All right. I'll show you why I did that. Or you'll see why I did that in a second. So me doing this, I found that changing the phase of the tail with an init saw is actually really nice because you can actually use it to fit the sounds a little bit more. That's not a really intelligent explanation of it, but that's kind of the best way I can describe it right now. Also, I'm switching back and forth between Facebook and YouTube chat because I've been ignoring YouTube for longer than I should have. Hello, everybody in YouTube. Will this be uploaded as well? I'm in the UK right now and can't watch for too long. Yes, so this is just going to save to my channel, which is fantastic. Love it. And I think that's better than Twitch anyway. I'm just going to start using YouTube. Victory, I could really use some tropical drums like that. Cashmere Pack, Splice will have a lot of them. Splice is kind of the way to go nowadays. I've upgraded to like the second or third tier on Splice, so I get a lot of samples per month, and I'm very excited. So if you see me like diving into like some stuff that I probably wouldn't make and said I wouldn't make, then you have Splice to thank for that. I'm gonna start making rhythm, sorry. No, that's not true. Anyway, not sure if I'm entirely satisfied with that. What did I do? This is going to be over here somewhere later on. This is going to be probably something else. I'll save that though because I do like that. I think we're gonna switch to another project and then I'll actually hop into a track breakdown because I did want to do that. It's been a while. But let me know what track you want to see. Do you want to see which one do you want to see? Do you want to see Memory? Do you want to see Breakthrough? Can't Wait? The Post Malone bootleg remix? Whichever one, let me know so I can get that ready to open it. It'll probably take about 20 years to open though on FL's end. What the I do want to finish this song. I think a piano would be good. Guys. Anybody else like lazy key changes? I do. I don't, but I do. But I don't. It's okay. One, two. Enter DEF CON drum things, like fucking. Yeah, actually. Oh, God. Give me a second. We're gonna do this the fast and lazy way. Kick. 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 7 channels just for a kick. That's how I ended up getting high channel counts actually. So like I said, the extra fast and lazy way to do it. Hold on. Oh, the pitching's good. Oh wait, no, you can't do it this way because the punch pitches. Yeah, don't do that. Why would I need 7 channels for the kick? Well, I'll tell you. I'm happy, yeah. So, what I was doing in the other project, so first, separate out the punch and tail is really important because that's how I like to pitch the tail in FL on its own without using things like Audacity or Audition or anything external. I just want to do it all in the same program because it just saves on power and I don't feel like using anything else. So that takes up 2 channels. So the punch gets its own separate processing. The tail, I'm actually not really doing anything with it, but that's more so that it can pitch on its own. Then that init saw that I told you about, or that I was doing earlier, to change the sound of the tail just slightly, even if it's just in the high end, or the mid-high character of it. It greatly helps. So here it is. So like here, I have it at 242 degrees about, and the kick will end up sounding different if it's just like all the way at 0. It's really slight, and that's also why I use headphones a lot, so I can hear those slight changes in detail. When it's just playing loud, it doesn't really matter. You just want to hear low end anyway. See. But I part out each thing so I have the full and maximum amount of control over it. And so I send both the tail and that init saw to its own bus together, so it'll get like a little bit of warmth from a Saturn or saturator if I wanted to do that, but I'm not doing it this one. Another one is for any effects kicks that I have. So for instance, so at the end here, just like really resonant peaks and distortion everywhere. Usually I would do this on, if you were to do this on like a noise controller wild styles kick, you'd get wild style sound. I did it in Atmosphere and I really enjoyed it because it sounds really nice. And the other channel is for the reverb effect, or reverb that I have for it. So instead of having reverb on just the tail and then automating it, I put an entirely separate kick file in its own channel and then gave it its own reverb bus. Because I want that from the punch in the kick as well. It's just the way for me to keep things clean. Downside, yes, I do end up burning a couple of channels in the process. But again, that's also why bouncing the audio can help. Let's see. Yeah, well, okay, I do most of that one channel, maybe 2 for the tail. Yeah, no, I get nuts with it. my friend Tim or Aerolite always says like, dude, like why would you do that? It's like really complicated, overly complicated actually, and it's true. But you know, you can make some cool things with it if you do it. Parallel processing is your friend. Let's see. Victory on YouTube said bouncing down my kick to audio. This is a new level of laziness. To personally add to the channel splitting, you sort of want your attack to punch to always be sort of the same. Always have always have the same punch. Yeah, of course. Oh, it's hot. It's hot. All right, let me not be lazy and process my kick for this one. God, I don't want to do it. Don't make me do it. Please don't make me do it. I'm gonna do it. Damn it. Damn it. Because the unfortunate part of this, and the reason why I don't want to do it right now, is because of the amount of processing that it takes to get all that going, and I have to remember what I did. Whatever, we'll do it. I gotta do it twice too, damn it. Gotta do that out. Stretch that to shit. Oh, wait. Can I rename this? I can. Cool. Nice. Stretch. I stretched. Can I spell? Yeah. Link to controller here. Where's it? High stretch pitch. Yes, FL, you are so awesome. Kicks away from scratch to final render, at least for me. Let me see. Yeah, I did that with the punch. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can hear Tim saying that. Well. Rename to low stretch pitch. Link to controller, low stretch pitch. I completely forgot you could do this for the longest time, and I didn't want to do it, but now it makes pitching things easier. Man, I sure can't wait for this to be done. Cool. I think that's done now. Nope, not yet. Why didn't I just do this? All right, there's a fully structured track if you ask me. Okay. I'm okay with that. I don't matter. Okay, I'm gonna save that. Those bends are so nice. It's for the longest time I didn't want to do any pitch bends because if everyone remembers back to when was like the golden age cyber, like when everyone was trying to get on Expo and all that. That was what, 2013 was it? Yeah, people went nuts with that. Oh, everybody went nuts with that. But I think the two best people that I thought did or the two people that I thought did pitch bends really well were both Cyber and Azinia was the other one. Both really great producers, absolutely. And then everyone kind of just shifted away from that, and I was just like, all right, this is where we're moving on to. Like, I'm happy that this isn't here, and the melodies that I wanted to make just didn't sound the same without them. So just started doing everything in moderation. Dario, thank you for sending it to me. I will actually download it after I open this next project. But I'm gonna save that because it just needs to be probably cleaned up, add a few screeches here and there, and then I'll just export and probably release it. I don't know where this is gonna go. I don't know what's gonna happen with it, but something's gonna happen. I'm not gonna lie, to be honest, I like this track, but I don't. But that's just the curse of it all. Let's see, what do I want to open? Okay, so while I'm opening this project that I probably shouldn't be opening, let me know out of Can't Wait, Breakthrough, or Memory, which project I should do a breakdown of really quick. Maybe for like another 30 minutes or so. But yeah, let me know what track I should break down and do a little walkthrough on. This is going to be on YouTube as well, like as in a recorded video, so I'm gonna probably promote it later on too. Let's see, naming Xbone, kind of funny because I've started a project that sounds just like the stuff that's on the label, but I'm extremely scared of sharing myself with labels. It feels way too soon. Yeah, absolutely. I know what you mean by that. The one thing with me was just you gotta send it. Say full send and hit send, because if you, it's really hard for me to say that because I do the same thing. They're like, why don't you release this? Why do you wait? What was the longest I made everybody wait for a track? A year? I waited a year before I released Can't Wait, probably. Because it just wasn't, it wasn't ready. I didn't feel like it was ready, but there's just a point where you, what else are you going to do to it? Like, you spend probably, what, 5 days opening the project and you're just sitting there staring at it the whole time? Like, sure, fully structured, you have, like, you know, quite a bit of detail, but there's just a point where maybe it's easier to let go than it is to, like, make it perfect. Maybe that's always what the next track is for. That I'm still figuring out for myself, but you know, every bit of that helps. I don't know. I don't know. That was kind of stupid, but whatever. No, my answering, not your question. Yeah, it's a little tricky answering that, and that's what I've been struggling with probably for the last 2 years, actually. Oh, you guys wanna see memory? Okay. Okay, then I will not play this one, and I will open memory. Here, actually, I'll give you guys a preview of this one.
For you, when you were all alone, I'll be there for you. 'Cause I know that I'll be there for you. When you were all alone, oh, I'll be there. Yeah, I'll be there for you. When you were all alone, I'll be there for you. 'Cause I know that I'll be there for you. When you were all alone, oh, I'll be there. Yeah, I'll be there for you.
Blank. Oh, wow. I didn't think you'd do that.
Yeah, I'll be there for
I'm still working on this part. Yeah, so that's where I'm leaving off on that part right there. Yeah. So like I said about staring at your project for like a week, not knowing what to do with it, that's like that, but I refuse to let this one go because I have trap in it, and as soon as I put those in there, it was going to be just a straight hardstyle remix of a track that I really enjoyed, but I wanted to do something different, so as soon as I started doing that, I was just like, wow, this is fun, but how do I not have this sound like garbage? Yeah, like nasty dubstep. Do I know how to make that? No. Am I gonna have to probably spend a couple weeks just doing nothing but learning that? Probably. But I will be doing that. Give me a sec though while I look for memory. I think because I made that in 12. We're on version 20.5 now. They changed the directory. What is it? This PC, local drive, x86, image line 12. Was it memory 2? Alright, bear with me because it's gonna take a while to open. Victory said, hey, I basically have Victory. Do I hear some audio tricks in there? The space in there is great. Audio tricks, I have been actually an inspiration of mine, oddly enough, and here's a little secret that my tracks with atmosphere and memory, it's just the way that I've produced, or the way that I'm learning, and I'm still learning it, never stop learning. But with atmosphere, when that came out, that was what, 2017, and so I kind of took the what made the 2017 hardstyle sound at the moment, or Scantrack sound. So you had that era of hardstyle. So you had like Wild Styles really dominating that era, I believe. You had, when did the whole Energized thing happen? That was 2017. That was like the whole, so I took influences from Energized as well. I really love his tracks. I don't want to talk about that whole thing because that's just better to leave it be. As well as a little bit of Adrenalize in there, and that's just what I liked, and so I wanted to throw that all into a track and add my own flair to it, and I did. And it turned out really, really great, actually. And then with this track, Memory, as you can see, it's a clusterfuck of everything. Like, just, I don't even remember where anything is. If I try, I can. Like, I have a certain way of how I arrange things, and this is where the breakdown's gonna start. So, how I do my projects is vocals are always going to be on top, followed by what I call real instruments, which are going to be your guitar samples, pianos, or strings, wind instruments, anything that you can physically play in a band. That's what I'll have at the top. The next will be percussion or drums. So crashes, rides usually sit on top of claps, which sit on top of snares, and then right under that you have my 909 kick drums, and then the actual kick itself. But already I can see that I've broken that here because the kick's down here and the screeches are up here. So that don't mind any of that. That's just how I kind of do things. But back to what I was saying about that 2017 sound. Memory was kind of the 2018, the 2018 version of that, and I really liked what was coming out on Spirit of Hardstyle. I still enjoyed Energized tracks. Atmospheres, obviously, noise controllers, all of that, and so put that in a track again, and then you get Memory with my own flair. So let's see, we'll start with, I believe how I started this track was originally the melody, and then I made a break immediately after, which was what? This project's already broken. CPU, my computer hates me right now. So the build into this is just something to build energy with, but the mid intro originally was not this, but that's not what this breakdown's gonna be. So I didn't know really what to do for a mid intro. It was much higher pitched, lacked in energy, and just I was frustrated. This track needed a mid intro, and originally wasn't gonna have one, but I was told that it did. So the first thing that I did was listen to a bunch of tracks, saying like, what can I take inspiration from? What do I do? So I looked at Audiotricks, and what's that one track? Is it Infinite? No, it's not Infinite. I'll look for it in a second. Dario asks, is that a double pitch bend automation on the screech, like for one for the single notes and one in general? So here, oh, you're talking about here. So what's happening here is, let me go to the screeches really quick. So I have one that's carrying the actual sound itself. And that's what all these pitch bends are. Now for the second one here, I have the, where is it? I have a second kind of detune saw, super saw, playing right underneath it, the same thing. I would have done this with a layer now, but I have this longer pitch bend actually carrying the pitch upwards. And then in the second half of that, I have it playing or starting at an octave higher, since I went an octave up. So it keeps ramping the energy up and up and up. And that's something that I noticed a lot of the guys, or the Euphoric guys, were doing in their mid intros to help build energy. Namely, Energize did that in everything, actually. Illuminated was one that I really noticed it in. And I think it was around this time that I was really listening to that track, and so putting those two together to help fill up even more space and to make it sound a little interesting, I took the screech reverb and I reversed it and just did a little bit of volume automation to help fill out more space. And I think I got that more so from analyzing a lot of Audiotricks' tracks. Let's see, Victory, RIP CPU, yeah. Let's see, Victory was saying, also, since we touched on the topic, what sort of information is important when sending in a demo? I'll get to that after the breakdown, but that is definitely a good question. Absolutely, but I will get to that answer in a bit. So, filling up the space. Was the most important thing for this track because of how the melody was. It was my first time trying out the whole pause, break thing. How melodies and screeches are nowadays, instead of just ramping and going and all the time, notes everywhere. I don't like it. But that was a real challenge for me, and so starting to bounce my audio and reverse it was a big game changer for me. And you can tell because half of this, if it's not like pitch automations like that, or actual like crashes and just volume automations again, it's just reversed samples. So we'll head over to the next section of it actually. Let's see. Jesus. Let me let it catch up for a second. Delete some other things. Close. Oh my goodness. This is terrible. But while I'm still here trying to get past this part, I wanted to add something a little bit interesting, so again, it didn't sound boring. Always keep things varying, always keep things, you know, as a little bit of surprise. Some people do that in the form of, here's a nice breakdown and then here's a drop. That just sounds completely unrelated to it. But the one thing I do in my tracks is I will have everything kind of blend into each other. It's one cohesive track, something that you can understand, something that you're gonna remember, not something that is kind of what I like to call expendable, I guess would be the correct term for that. Anyway, and so one of those is an element that you'll only hear once in the track, and it only appears here, which is, now that sounds weird, but it adds so much emphasis to this part. Let's see if I can do this with the... I really want an emphasis on that rhythm change. And so it worked out a lot better than I thought it would. It took me probably a couple weeks for me to be satisfied with that and realize that you can't have every sound be the most perfect if it's just gonna sit in the background anyway. That helps. So the next part would be the transition, and I really like this transition. It leads out of the mix intro or mid intro into the melody like really nicely, and I don't know what my inspiration for this was. I just did it and it really worked. Let's see if my CPU doesn't hate me. So I, again, like that whole, here's the end of the drop, nothing, or like reverb out into, again, or reintroducing the break that you had originally. That doesn't sound like the drop at all. It just doesn't sit right with me. And so to find a way to transition all of that together was difficult. It always is difficult trying to transition and make everything blend together, especially because this is, I think, only my second time doing it, and all the while keeping the energy. That was a whole process in its own. But the one thing that really helped me carry this was this ARP. Is it Kontakt? It is Kontakt. Oh, I forgot I used this. Alright, anyway. So ticking and ARPs to help carry it through. And then the rest was just slowly introducing things like the piano and back verbing in the melody. Sorry, I can't find my glasses. Where are my glasses? There they are. I'm really bad at explaining this project. I'm trying my best. Piano to bring in the progression. So I do have a question for the people that are still watching. How many channels do you guys use for your leads? Because I use about 4, 7, 9, or 8, 9. I'm using about 12, 13. 12. Sorry, 15. Those are just leads. 15, just. And that's probably what's eating my CPU, because what each of these has an EQ on it. This has an EQ compressor on it. Yeah. Like I said, when it comes to sounds and processing, I'm an absolute control freak. Yes, mixer channels. I would have to ask it that specific way in FL because of how it works. Working with a template that has a 19 reserved for that. Oh. Okay. That works. I should probably start doing that. Probably set aside 19 or 20 as well, because setting all of this up at this every single time probably wastes a total of maybe an hour. Total time of an hour setting all this up, or once I get to this. What's the story behind the Vox? Who's the vocalist and how is it recording? I already of course. So when I had sent this off to Xbone, they're like, all right, this is a cool track. How are, like, it needs a vocal. What are you gonna do for a vocal? And to be honest, I didn't even think about it. I like my tracks without vocals because that's just the kind of music I like listening to. I like classical. I like old trance where it's just listen to the music and leave it alone. But that's not how music's listened to anymore. You have to have a vocal. You have to be able to have somebody sing along to it. It has to be catchy. All of these rules to anyway, I'm not gonna get into it. But my first thing was looking for a vocalist on Fiverr, looking on Facebook, and then I just said, hey, you know what, screw this. And so I bought myself this lovely microphone here, and I sang something myself. Well, not on this track. This was actually an iPhone recording, but this is me being bored and really wanting to finish this track. Memory. That's your boy. I'm so proud. Jeremy, Max, and Tim, and everybody wouldn't let me hear the end of it. They're like, "Oh, Brandon, what memory?" But the other part of that is that it worked, but it ended up turning into one of those tracks where it's just like, here's a track, here's a title, just because here's a title. There's not really anything, but might as well name it after the vocal used. And fun fact, the other vocal that I used in here is actually the same one from Atmosphere. I just like the vocal chops a lot. Kind of like how Virtual Riot uses the Never Let Me Go sample in like probably half of his tracks he made like a few years ago. I'm not very good at vocal processing, but I tried my best. Actually, what did I do? What did I do? These are the frequencies that the iPhone picked up in my voice and just fucking blast, and it makes it sound really gross and nasally. Let's see. I want you guys to suffer for just like a second. That's my voice. Dude, those are ugly. Those are ugly. Anyway, moving on. The melody that apparently everybody really likes. I don't understand how this track did. That's just me. I just don't understand it. It did really well. I found out like probably a month after everybody else knew, but like it made it into Cloud9's top 100 hardstyle of 2018. And there's just something about that that makes me happy, but I still don't understand it. Oh, it's gonna crush about right. I can't with this project. My computer doesn't like it anymore. But arrangement wise, for all around arrangement, it's really kind of short, go, attention spans are short. And it was Scantraxx that really told me that, or it wasn't that told me that, they were like, listen to how these tracks are, listen to what's coming out right now. And if you look, a lot of songs aren't even more than 4 minutes anymore. And so that's what this was, me trying to figure that out, which is why make your transitions like effective for the short amount of time that they're there, so that way each element gets its proper place. The melody, how it comes in, tease it throughout the mid-intro, tease it within the transitions, will kind of do the same thing as like, oh, what's that, what's coming. Have your melody be impactful for like what the 8 bars that it's there, transition out, and then go straight to your drop to reiterate that melody and then bring it down. Oops. And the one thing that I want to do more of, that I should probably do more of, is varying my breaks between separating break 1 from break 2, making sure that it's always interesting. And so that's why earlier today when I was making, or when I basically copied and pasted that track, I wasn't happy with it because that's not what I do. For example, having that piano to fill up the space with the melody wasn't there in the first one. What's probably eating my CPU is this riser that I should probably bounce out. Oh, hey, Linda joined. Hi, Linda. Let's see. Victory, on average, I say about 10 total before it goes into the actual master, but that's just the synth layers. Plus 10 buses. Still remember when I first found a track of mine uploaded, promoted on YouTube, it blew me away. Also kind of helped me soften up the thought of having my music reach a larger audience. It just comes. Like, I don't know, if the music is good, then there's no reason why I see like people wouldn't listen to it. All these automations are what's killing it. It's nothing too complex. It's just a detuned Sylenth, if I can find this damn thing. Where is it? It's just, why is this an audio? It's something that I like to call anxiety screech. I had really bad anxiety one day and I just made a sound and it ended up being a screech, and it works for its purposes. It works. It's short and sweet. The one thing I couldn't and I still don't agree with is probably the LFO speed that I'm playing with. And also how FL works, because it's with vectors and it's like all high-res images, is also probably why it's killing CPU. It's also really hot. But yeah, so let's pace it about 8 times in the track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times, sorry. I'm probably gonna close the project now, but really there isn't much else to explain other than the variation here would be the Picardy third, or what did everybody call it? The Audio Tricks twist is what everyone called it, because they were really the only ones that did it. And then Bass Modulators did it, and then Randy did it in his was it Randy? He was the one that did the DEF CON anthem, yeah, or one of them at least. Randy. Yep, I believe Randy did it, and then everybody started doing it, so it just wasn't special anymore. But it's a Picardy third is what that's called when you're going from a minor to a, instead of a minor, sorry, and resolving in a minor chord, you switch the third to major, and it sounds really nice, and it's a really nice transition at the end of all of it. And I really enjoyed that, but when I first sent it to people, they're like, "Oh, it sounds like Audio Tricks, the DEF CON anthem." Yeah, they're like, "Oh, this sounds like Audio Tricks." Hey, like, there's a lot of Audio Tricks references in this. Like, yes, I know, I'm well aware of that. You don't have to tell me that, but that's okay. But yeah, other than that, that's really the breakdown of Memory. Now, if you want more questions on it, I can definitely do it. I can't really play much on this project anymore because it's just really CPU intensive without going through the file. Well, actually, why did I do that? Just use the playback file. But I definitely want to do more of these breakdowns. I need to get better at it, one, because I don't explain things really correctly. Minor to major on the third chord. So, no. Yeah. So, I should have been more specific. So, a Picardy third, you're taking a minor chord, so chords are made up of what, intervals. So, or two notes stacked on top of each other is an interval. 3 or more is a chord, and so you have usually the first third. Yeah, the first third, the fifth, a seventh chord is adding the seventh. You have the ninth, and then it goes on to there. You have 11th, add 13th, flat 5, which, sorry, getting into it. But so in, let's see, F, or we'll do C because it's either easier. What is it? C, E, G is a major chord, C major. C minor, C, E flat, G, I believe is what it is. And so you're going from, where is that? Where's the chords? Where's the filter? There's a note in here somewhere where I say unmute this one. Nope, there isn't. So how I ended the melody last time, wait, damn it, I'm having a hard time now. So that's a minor, and so instead of a minor like the original melody had ended, change the third, where is it? It also doesn't help that I have it inverted as well. So instead of that, instead of your minor third, bring it up to a major. Why is it not doing it? Oh, because it's layered, not the way I would have done it. Anyway, you're ending with a major instead of a minor as more of a transitional chord, or as, yeah. But, or I used it as more of a transitional chord in this case. It sounds really nice, but now it's overdone because everybody does it, and so I don't really like it. I need to brush up on theory again. I need to relearn that because I want to add more tricks and be like, ah. But yeah, so that's the breakthrough of Memory, a very poor explanation of it. But if you have any more questions on it, or if you have any questions on any other track, let me know. Absolutely, please. Let's see, Vincent on YouTube. Is that a delay on your lead, or did you just add a less loud pattern to recreate it as a delay? So it's both. It's actually both. So here, let me mute my 15 channels. It's really messy, but it's both. So without it, so I have a delay going on. It's a lot, but also to help fill up the space and reiterate that pause or that melody or that phrase. Phrase is the word I was looking for. So yes, it's both. I do it. You could do that with a. Would that be a halftime or like a full bar delay? It's a full bar delay. You can do it within your plugin, but I find that's a little easier just bouncing down to audio and just cutting it up and spacing it out at that point. It's just more control, and so that way you don't have to sit there like automating your delay times. You don't have to burn another channel. It saves you on CPU, and that if you absolutely need to, you have a bounce audio file to replace your MIDI channels if you need to really save on power or processing power. And I guess as I'm stressing this enough, like, or I can't stress this enough, because especially if you work on a laptop, and like some of my friends work on laptops and they're like, oh, this always crashes, and I'm like, do you bounce the audio? They're like, no. I'm like, there you go. So do I bounce the audio? Not really, but I need to. It's so hot. Huh. But that's memory. That's memory. This track took, what is it? No. I'm just gonna start hitting keys now. Info. No, so this isn't true. Project was started on 25/7. Did I start it in July? I did. I started this in July of 2017, so I started this almost 2 years ago. Total time spent on it, 3 hours and 12 minutes, is absolutely untrue. I remember what I did. No, because I made a second, or I've made second versions of the project because the old one broke. And I had to revert and then continue on with that one. But this probably took a full year to finish. No, it took 8 months, and then it took a couple months to finally release it because the release schedule was so backed up that I had to just sit there and wait. But it was exciting to finally release this, and I was really proud of this one. Ended up making it on a hardwood style, which is, hardwood style, which is really cool. Yeah, I missed that. I kind of want to make another track now. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna turn off my stream for a moment so that way I can go get some food, because it's 4th of July and I kind of want to grill something. I'm hungry. Yeah, we're gonna do that. But thank you for hanging out with me on 4th of July, those of you in the US, and then everyone else around the world, like, thank you for hanging out. It was really fun. I'm gonna really try and do this more often. It's just a matter of waiting till after the summer because we're pretty busy at work actually, but it's okay. Anyway, thank you again, guys, and it was super fun. Feel free to send me messages wherever if you have any questions or you want to send anything or talk or anything. It doesn't matter. Anyway,